Hello, everybody, and good morning. And I want to talk about panic and depression and your Chinese liver and your Chinese heart, because they're very much involved in panic and depression. Panic is extremely painful, and someone who's panicking really is not helping the situation. Isn't that right? Panic does not help anything. Level-headedness, that's what we want. But panic is like saying, there's no solution. There's no solution to this problem. And of course, the problem is generally in the future or the past. Now, depression is also very painful. Depression is like paralysis. You can't move, can't do anything. Again, it's because of the belief that there's no hope, that there's no solution to this problem or problems or what have you, either in the future or the past, right? And it comes from thinking about the future and the past a lot, right? And you know, the only thing we really have total control over is what we choose to think, right? I mean, if you choose to think about problems that don't have any immediate solutions or obvious, and you keep thinking about it, it could lead to panic and it could lead to depression, especially important problems. It's certainly not doing any good. I mean, you want to analyze the past and you want to plan for the future, but you want to write those plans in pencil, not chisel them in stone. Well, when we get set on these time zones, the future and the past, and we realize we don't have an answer, then we panic or we get depressed. And so we call that heart phlegm. And we say that the Shen is disturbed. Now, the Shen lives in your Chinese heart. Your Shen lives in your Chinese heart. And your Shen is that substance that determines appropriate behavior. Appropriate to the woman, not appropriate to anything else. Appropriate to this moment right now. And it does that by gathering information. Memory, rational thinking, that's from the cognitive side. And emotions and the 5 physical senses, that's from the feeling side of you. And it gathers that information, puts it all together, looks at the big picture, and decides on appropriate behavior, we hope, if it's healthy. Now, if that information comes through distorted, comes into the Shen, into the heart, distorted, well then, if your information is distorted, your behavior is going to be inappropriate. And that, of course, is panic and depression. Panic has that added element of heat, right? And depression has that added element of heavy phlegm. No hope, right? That's depression. So either one means a disturbed Shen because of heart phlegm. Where does that heart phlegm come from? We got to understand the liver. The Chinese liver gone, is very, very different from the Western liver. They're not the same at all. They're in the same place. The liver's over here where it's supposed to be, but the liver channels are extremely important. And remember that Chinese medicine is an energetic system. It's not necessarily anatomical. The anatomy is related to the energy. Western medicine is anatomical, straight anatomical. If you dig inside, you'll find a liver in there. You can examine it under a microscope. You can't do that with a Chinese liver because it's energetic. But that energetic aspect allows us to connect things, and that allows us to explain things, and that allows us to get to the root causes of things. So liver does not cleanse blood. We can get rid of that right now. It doesn't filter anything. The Western liver is a filter. Chinese liver does not cleanse, doesn't cleanse anything. What it does is it keeps your qi moving. Your qi is energy, more or less. You can't really exactly translate Chinese concepts into the English or any other language. That's kind of a problem that we have. But Qi, you could say, is energy, and it keeps things flowing. It keeps everything moving. It keeps your emotions moving. It keeps your muscles moving. It keeps your thoughts moving. It keeps your blood and your fluids moving. Your fluids we call jinya. Well, if it doesn't keep the fluids moving, if those fluids get stuck, then what happens? It starts collecting. And where does it collect? It likes to collect around the heart. And it likes to confuse the shin. So that's phlegm, right? And how do we know it's phlegm? Well, for 2,000 years, we have used the same herbs for visible phlegm, which we call substantial phlegm, which you can see, right? You can feel. The same herbs work on insubstantial phlegm, that phlegm around the heart. And that's how we know that, well, they are related. They're also related to qi stagnation, and that means liver. The liver's main job is to keep the qi moving. It's like an office manager. You know, an office manager has to make sure everybody has what they need to do a good job and keep everything smooth running, smooth flowing. So that's the liver. That's your Chinese liver, keeping your qi moving. When the qi gets stuck, mainly because of what you choose to think, right? That's all you have control over, is what you choose. If you keep choosing to think about the future, which doesn't exist, your qi is going to get stuck. If you keep choosing to think about the past, oh, I did this and I did that, no, it's all messed up, blah, blah, blah. Well, instead of being on the moment, your qi is going to get stuck. And when the qi gets stuck, guess what happens? The jinya, the fluids get stuck too. And then they can pile up around the heart. A little bit of pile up is what Western medicine might call neurosis, where you're kind of weird, right? You're kind of weird behavior. When it gets thick, that's what they call psychosis. That's where you really can't function. You know, and when you're depressed, you can't function. That's severe depression. That's psychosis. That's heavy phlegm distorting your information. And while you're having a panic attack, that's a psychotic episode too. Panic attack is a psychotic episode. That means you are completely out of function. I mean, you're functionless during a panic attack, and extremely painful too. Remember that stagnation is pain. Stagnation is pain. Pain is stagnation. That means the qi is not moving. That means the liver is unhappy. So if you keep choosing to think about the future and the past, your liver is going to be unhappy. It's going to stagnate the qi, and that could, and very likely will, stagnate your fluids, causing heart phlegm and what we call disturbed shin. So liver is fascinating, really fascinating in Chinese medicine, liver-gan. It also dominates the eyes. Any eye problems, you look first to the liver. Any brain problems, look first to the liver. That's because the liver channel goes up into the eyes and then right through the brain. Also, it goes down the rib cage. It's associated with the gallbladder, which is just a helper. The gallbladder and liver are closely connected, and especially the channels. So any problems along the seam, outer seam, or down the middle of the chest, or down the inner thigh, or the outer thigh, inner leg, outer leg, that's usually liver. And it also circles the genitals. So you can get liver qi stagnation and have sexual impotence, either male or female. A lot of menstrual problems, most menstrual problems, because that has to keep moving at a certain time. Well, if liver's stuck, then we have problems. Premenstrual syndrome and other problems are developing down there, including cysts, right? Cysts are phlegm. It's a collection of phlegm. Tumors are phlegm too. We call that phlegm. And it's qi stagnation, right? So, all of that is liver. So we don't want the liver to be unhappy. We want the liver to keep moving forward. And we want the heart to be happy. And we don't want phlegm piling up around that heart, causing disturbance and confusion and panic and depression. So it's very important to stay in the moment. Yes, things will work out. They do, don't they? We need problems. Problems and solutions are of equal value. And that, of course, is this yin and yang. right? Yin and yang are of equal value. Look at it. They're of equal value, right? Right? Well, problems and solutions are of equal value. You need problems to know what solutions are. If you didn't have problems, you wouldn't know what a solution is. If you didn't have sadness, you wouldn't know what joy is. Well, that's a Taoist point of view. That's what every licensed acupuncturist and practitioner of Chinese medicine understands from our schooling, is Taoist theory. I'll talk in more detail at a later time about Taoist theory, but for right now, just remember that when you're feeling like a panic attack's coming on, you need to breathe, because breathing helps to clear the heat and relax, and exhale. Breathing in clears the heat, and exhale relaxes the muscles and moves the qi. And if you're feeling depression, you got to force yourself to get up and get moving. Go out and walk, go out and run, go out and play basketball by yourself. Anything to get moving and get that qi moving. So that's from my book, Chinese Medicine from the Modern World. Wonderful book. Get it, read it, enjoy it. And that's all I have for today. And enjoy my Tahitian drumming. Wow!